This time of year, a good hoodie is absolutely essential. But these days, it's tough to find one that will last through the season. That's why the American Giant Classic Full Zip Hoodie is made to last a lifetime, so you can count on it to bring you comfort and warmth year after year. Slate Magazine called it the greatest hoodie ever made, and from cotton to zipper, it's made right here in the USA. It's crafted with timeless style, heavyweight fleece, a double-lined hood, and reinforced elbow patches, which means this hoodie can withstand any outing or adventure. It'll be your new favorite hoodie, and you can depend on it for years to come. Plus, buying from American Giant means supporting local communities of farmers, manufacturers, and more. This season, snag the hoodie that will bring you comfort for life, the American Giant Classic Full Zip, and save 20% off your first order at american-giant.com when you use code CLASSIC24 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at american-giant.com, code CLASSIC24.
Albert DeSalvo. Albert DeSalvo, infamously known as the Boston Strangler, is believed to have murdered 13 women in the Boston area between 1962 and 1964. His life was one of extreme violence and crime, a path set early on by an abusive childhood in Chelsea, Massachusetts. DeSalvo's modus operandi involved gaining the trust of his victims, often posing as a maintenance worker to gain entry to their homes, where he would then sexually assault and strangle them. The crimes. The Boston Strangler's reign of terror began in 1962, with the first victim being 55-year-old Anna Slezers. Over the next 2 years, DeSalvo would claim the lives of a diverse group of women, ranging in age from 19 to 85. The killings were characterized by the gruesome signature of strangulation, often with the victim's own stockings or a similar piece of clothing. The media frenzy that followed painted Boston as a city gripped by fear, and the police struggled to connect the dots between the seemingly random murders. DeSalvo's background was littered with signs of the violence he would later unleash. As a child, he was regularly beaten by his father and witnessed the abuse of his mother. This toxic environment set the stage for a life of petty crimes and escalating violence. By the time he reached adulthood, DeSalvo was a deeply disturbed individual, showing signs of sexual deviancy that would later fuel his murderous impulses. Arrest and confession. DeSalvo was initially arrested for a series of sexual assaults known as the Green Man incidents, where he would pose as a handyman to gain entry into women's apartments and then assault them. It was during his incarceration that he confessed to being the Boston Strangler, recounting the murders in chilling detail. However, doubts have persisted over the years regarding whether DeSalvo was indeed the Strangler or simply seeking notoriety. Despite his confession, there was little physical evidence tying DeSalvo to the murders. He was never tried for the Boston Strangler crimes but was convicted of the Green Man assaults and sentenced to life in prison. In 1973, DeSalvo was stabbed to death in his cell under mysterious circumstances, further shrouding the case in mystery. Legacy and controversy. The true identity of the Boston Strangler remains a topic of debate. In 2013, DNA evidence linked DeSalvo to the last of the Strangler's victims, 19-year-old Mary Sullivan, seemingly confirming his guilt. However, some investigators and historians still question whether DeSalvo acted alone or if the Strangler's identity is more complex than his confession suggests. Albert DeSalvo's story is a haunting chapter in the history of American crime, blending elements of psychological horror with the cold reality of a serial killer's impact on a community. His legacy is a reminder of the terror that can be wrought by an individual shaped by violence and abuse, and the lingering questions about his guilt or innocence continue to fascinate true crime enthusiasts and investigators alike.